Welcome to ESC TV. I am Professor Josep Brugada from Barcelona, Spain. I'm the past president of EHRA, European Heart Rhythm Association. It is my pleasure today to interview Professor Karl-Heinz Kuck, who is the actual president of EHRA, and that we will talk about what are the achievements and what are the future role of EHRA in the electrophysiology in Europe. Carl, we have very recently celebrated the 10th anniversary of EHRA. What are the main achievements that EHRA has conquered during these 10 years?
EHRA actually followed the unification of the working group of cardiac pacing and cardiac arrhythmias 10 years ago and became the strongest society representing arrhythmology in Europe. Now, the major issues that we have achieved is, first of all, that we have a Congress which until now is biannual, which will be annual in the near future. It's a unification of arrhythmologists across Europe. They come to present their research and their science. The second issue is that we have built up strong connections to international societies, to Asia, to Southern America, to Southern Africa, and to the United States. And we have collected data, very importantly, on cardiac devices and ablation procedures across Europe, which helps us to better understand how many of those procedures are done across Europe and to support those countries who really are still at very low numbers.
Do you think that EHRA at present represents the vast majority of arrhythmologists in Europe?
There is no question about this. We increased with our membership to up to 1,600 members within 2013, and there is a steadily increase over the last 10 years, so that we are very optimistic that this number will further increase, and it really incorporates all countries across Europe.
One of the major objectives of EHRA has always been education. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Actually, over these 10 years, we have built up 4 teaching courses within Europe, mostly held at the Heart House, 2 dedicated to cardiac pacing and 2 dedicated to catheter ablation. In addition, today we are taking these courses outside of Europe and offer them in Russia, in Egypt and other countries. And we plan to do this even more often and going with these courses also to our partners in Southern America and to other countries.
Fellowship, it's always an important issue. How do EHRA is doing with the fellowship program?
Yeah, we are very proud about our activities on training fellows. And I'm in particular proud that we can tell today that we have the largest fellowship program within the entire ESC. And this fellowship now has been extended for also other issues such as pacing, and it was started with catheter ablation. And today we are also planning to take young scientists into basic research and into clinical research, and we are starting this as a new program.
One last question, Carl. You just started your mandate, you have 2 years in front of you. How are you planning for the future? What are you going to do as president in these next 2 years?
Yeah, the next most important steps are to also involve our patients. Finally, we are an association that is dealing with patients with arrhythmias, and we are putting websites together, in particular on atrial fibrillation, which is the most common arrhythmia and associated with the high risk of stroke. And that leads me to the second important issue, which is that we would like to see over the next 2 years of my presidency that we can establish a stroke day that indicates and helps people to prevent stroke, because the European Communion, for instance, is spending 44 billion euros every year on stroke treatment instead of stroke prevention. So we believe that we have to move into this, and in addition, what we also believe is that we have to strengthen our activity fighting sudden cardiac death. And we have started the initiative in the Eastern European countries, and we would like to follow on this over the next 2 years too.
Thank you very much, Carl. We wish you big success in your mandate, and we wish a long life to EHRA and a big success to EHRA as the leading association in Europe for electrophysiology. Thank you.
And thanks to you for starting to build it up over the
you.
last years. Thank you so much too.
ESC Congress 365 is your free access to ESC Congress content all year long.